Okay. Sorry. It's a bit of a big pile of stuff for now. It's all right. Hi guys. Hi everyone. Hi Lindsay. Hi Erica. Hi Chris. Hi Paulo. Hey, box of paint. Hi. Very sleepy. Oh no. I'm bringing coffee for everyone. I might need more mugs. This one is actually a bit of a treat. It's okay, it's instant coffee. That's about all the coffee I drink, but I'm super picky about the type of instant coffee. Like I found one brand that I like and that's the only one I buy. And it's like a instant coffee with a bit of hot water and then chocolate oat milk. So it's like the perfect cross between a really lazy and a really fancy drink. Like somewhere in between. Hey, Temple! Hi! Hi, Lab Accident! Hi, Salome! Hi, guys! Alright, it's awesome. So yummy. Hopefully I don't knock it off with my elbow. Party's lighting up in here. Oh, my hands are so dry. Like it's barely like between 10 and 15 Celsius. Like it's not even cold yet and I'm already like drying up like an old raisin. You better go tussle up second breakfast real quick. Ooh, yummy. What's for second breakfast? So I have a couple of palettes here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, okay. These four are vintage palettes in various states of wear. This one is not really vintage, but I wanted to bring it out so I could compare it to this one. I'm still in the process of cleaning it up, but it's in really good shape for a palette that's, well, okay, apparently it's supposed to be about 100 years old. I don't know about that. No way really to date it because it's not branded in any way. I can't find like, I'll show in my others, but the others, they have like a bit of branding somewhere. This one is perfectly unbranded. It's in really good shape considering it's super small if you look at that. And it has space for 24 colors in there. Peanut butter and apple butter. Oh, that sounds amazing. So yeah, I'm still cleaning it up. I don't think I'll be able to clean everything. Like the purple stuff here is pretty much stained in. But like it has very little rust. Most of the enamel is still here. And yeah, that's surprisingly good. Also, something really interesting, the way they enameled the wells, they're all relatively watertight from each other. Like the enamel sort of curves in the compartment, so it's like every single one was put in place and then enameled, so it's really nice. And it doesn't have a lot of mixing spaces. It has this lid and this lid, but they're not split. But oh my gosh, that's lovely. And it's two flat sides and not those V-shaped mixing well. You don't like the mixing wells? Like these? But yeah, so currently working on this one. Yeah, I wanted to compare it to the other one. It's really not that much bigger. if you look at it, it's about the same thickness. It's a bit smaller on the long side, but a bit wider. Except that this one, instead of the 18 colors you get in this one, technically this one has 24. Not bad. I want to fill it up with big dots. I did that with square pans. I really, really hate those. Oh, shit. Hold on. Sorry about that. Whew, okay. Now I'm awake. Yeah, that rang. This is my dad. My dad is pretty cool. He has he has a couple of friends that have used bookstores, and it's kind of a whole like system of people like often, kind of sadly, it's when some people pass away and their relatives have a bunch of stuff that they don't really know what to do with. They often call my dad because my dad can work with like old electronics, and he really likes music and books. So he has sort of I don't know how to say it exactly, but he works with all his friends that have used bookstores. So sometimes like he will get box of books to them, or when they get specific boxes of stuff, they will call my dad. And my dad knows that I work with watercolor, so he just called me to say that one of his bookstore friends got a big bunch of boxes of watercolor books. And he was like, hey, is there any in there you want? And I was like, well, I'd have to see them. So he's supposed to take pictures and send them to me. So sorry about that. He might call again. So if it rings again and yeah, might be him again. So is that what you mean with the V Wells box of paint? So this is another older one, but this one is obviously a Reeves watercolor box. It has the ceramic wells, but they're really wedged in like tightly. Has some of the original colors in there that are quite usable still. Like it had a bright yellow, but that one is mostly all gone. Kind of a yellow ochre, warm, cool red, cool and warm blue, brown, and a black or dark brown. You guys can hear me, right? Just making sure. And yeah, this one is a bit more worn. Like you have a bit of rust more, but overall it's still in really good shape. Oh, it says the colors: Gamboge tint, Prussian blue, yellow ochre, ultramarine, vermilion mid tint, burnt sienna, and crimson lake Van Dyke brown. It's still very serviceable. Those are still good. The Paul Rubens set that come. Those are still good. Okay. Oh, I know. I see what you mean. I might have one of these just here. And yeah, and this other one I got is also a Reeves. It also has the like Reeves used palette are really not that hard to come by, but this one is really more worn out. Like a lot more of the enamel is missing. It's more stained, has more rust. It's full of these like I took the time to clean up all the ceramic pans I had, because they were not exactly usable. The paint was all dried up and did not re-wet well, but it's kind of more worn than this one and then this one. It's very well loved. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So this, and also this one. This one is also super interesting because it's completely unused, but it's old. It's like old new stock, and it's actually a whole bind palette. And that's how it looks. That's the one, yeah. Those V wells. But yeah, it's, as you can see, it's the old packaging for the paints. Oh my god, this sponge is, I mean, it's a sponge. If I wet it, it's gonna be fine, but it's like really hard. Came with a brush, like perfect packaging and everything. Colors are Crimson Lake, Vermilion Hue, Yellow Ochre, Permanent Yellow Light, Permanent Green #1, Viridian Hue, Burnt Sienna, Cobalt Blue Hue, Prussian Blue, Burnt Umber, Ivory Black, Chinese Wood. I don't know why the Burnt Sienna is here though. It's a weird spot for it. Go here. Would make more sense with the other browns. But yeah, this one is a tube palette. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to use it. Looks like cauliflowers. The sponge kind of does. I think it gets better with time, but everything runs into the little strip. Oh yeah, in the middle here. Some people don't like their food touching. I don't like my puddles touching. Though one of my most recurrent beef with new palettes is that they don't have enough mixing spaces. I would rather have a you know, the palettes like the regular tin for 12 color usually has 2 mixing spots in the lid. Sometimes you have 3. I'm like, can you just split it in 4 and have like 4 smaller ones? I told my boss that the packing peanuts look yummy, and he was like, what? Are they the packing peanuts that melt in water? Those are pretty cool. Yeah, they're corn-based packing peanuts. They dissolve in water. They're pretty weird. Jackson's has been sending out stuff with these. So that's... So So I don't need this one. I can put away this one. This one. Okay. My cats learned the hard way not to bite those packing. What happens if you bite them? When you think you have the meltable peanuts, but they aren't, you just have wet peanuts. You can also dab an end in water and they stick to each other. Oh my god, that's true. They go together pretty well. I think they even tried selling them as craft. Really? Bite the— oh, the melty ones! Oh no! Oh no! Poor kiddos. Okay, I want to grab some brushes. If I can find them. Ah, crapo. Of course, they're the one in the bottommost box. You guys, I'm gonna try out. All right. Okay, almost done. Plop. All right. Jeebus. All right, made it. I'm not moving anymore. This is kind of a big sketchbook. So, how have your week? How has your week been? How do I say that? How words work? It's gonna be extra confusing for a bit because it's gonna be me having to do early streams occasionally, and then we're gonna switch to the dreaded daylight saving times. Someone is messaging me. Let's see if my dad was able to send me. Not yet. I kind of hate that you have ads in Gmail. It's like, Hold on, what? My week has been a week. My car went in the shop. Now the borrowed car is brought. Oh no. My week has been awful, but it is what it is. Oh no. Well, at least it's over, right? So. It's gonna be really super light. Hubs had a heck week at work, which meant was oh no. What's with everyone's cars getting messed up? I have some friends who also had car problems. I don't know, maybe it's the change of season. But managed to harvest some chills and made... Oh, chilies! I was like, how do you harvest chills? And made some insanely spicy sauce. Oh no, Salome, what the heck? Boxabite, are you familiar with the one chip challenge? Like this super excessively spicy chip that like you buy a box, you only get one chip in it, and it's California Reaper and another like super spicy pepper, and the goal is to eat the whole chip and to go the longest possible without taking any like drink or anything to help with the heat. Absolutely not for me. I am a total wuss when it comes to spice, but I saw the people from the H3 podcast try that challenge recently. I don't know, like in my opinion, it's kind of a bit silly in the sense that you really hurt yourself. Like it's painful, and I'm like, is it really worth it to be in that level of pain and then to have the most terrible week at the bathroom ever? I am indeed. I grew 3 of those stupid hot chilies last year, and it was a delicious fluke. Pickled them, and there is no! Wait, you pickled them and it took away the spice? What? No! I love spicy food, but not being in pain for the sake of it. Yeah. Also, the thing with the one chip challenge is that the way they made the chip, all it has is basically like the pepper's powder on it and no seasoning really. So it tastes like garbage. It doesn't taste good at all. So on top of it being like absurdly spicy, it tastes like butt. Sorry about that. If we lose out on another house, I will go on a rampage. It seems like a really difficult market. We don't know what happened to but my scorpion habaneros and some mystery ones tasted so good. But I honestly think anyone could eat it. This year I thought the same when I tasted the spoon after I stirred the chopped. Oh no. That's kind of the thing you don't think about, really. I have a friend who used Tiger Balm, didn't wash his hands straight away, and then went to the bathroom, and he really regretted his life choices in that moment. Hubby says he's had a Thai condiment that is pickled spicy peppers. Yummy pepper flavor plus tang, less spice. That sounds great. I once applied Tiger Balm to hubby after a bath. It was no joke. Yeah, that thing is active. Oh wow, that did not re-wet all that well. It's so weird. It's so consistent with Prussian blue as far as I know. It's not the first time I re-wet. Oh wow, holy moly. I touched a perfectly normal chili once, I think jalapeno. And my finger burned for 24 hours. This is... Maybe you're sensitive to it. The Van Dyke Brown is a bit harder to re-wet as well. Overall, I mean, that's a really nice palette. It's one that, if it was still available today, with that lineup of color, would be really easy to recommend to beginners. Waiting to see my work spells for dinner. If I'm not back before the end. Oh! Well, have a fun dinner! And thank you so much for popping by, Box of Paint. So I'm just gonna try and draw a quick sort of adventure cat here, just so I can ink it quickly and try painting it with these colors. Gotta run, dinner is ready. Oh, enjoy dinner! Yeah, I'm sorry the stream is a bit earlier. I think it's a lot less convenient for people overseas. Sometimes I'm kind of stuck though, so that's why I have to have these a bit earlier sometimes. Who's been watching the Lord of the Rings show on Prime? I think I talked about it last week, but still. A bit of a roller coaster here this week. Millie's oncologist canceled her follow-up. Oh no! We were doing ultrasonic space to check on progress. Ah, that's annoying. And super stressful too to have to postpone it. Oh my gosh. How is she taking to the treatments? But I get more time to love on my fragrance-free Millie. Aww. I don't think I have any inking pens in this bag. This is just pencils. Great. Ugh. Hey, Arle! Are you still getting in some bike rides? Yeah, whenever I can. Mr. E has really taken to biking. He does a bit more rides than me. But it's mostly because I'm absolutely useless when I wake up. While he's functional, so he can go on rides in the morning while I'm just trying to, you know, gain enough consciousness to work. What about you, Arlie? Do you bike too? Yes, emotionally I've tried so hard to maintain because she's Aww. Aw, poor baby. Okay, it's just so I'm sure, Millie's your cat, right? Or am I mixing stuff up? I leave to serve a customer and come back to kitty love. The vet visits are the most stressful for her. Oh, yeah. I mean, I hope that at some point we'll have at home, maybe like ways of administering these treatments, because the stress of going to the vet is like, it's non-negligible for pets. They really hate it when they hate it. Sorry. Oh, it's fine. I'm glad I kind of remembered, you know? Sometimes I get a bit worried about my brain, in the sense that, like, trivial stuff, but I will show, like, a video on Twitter to Mystery, and I'm like, haha, this is so funny. He's like, well, I talked to you about this week, and I'm like, no, you didn't. And he's like, yeah, I did, and I even told you more about, like, this and that, and also this related to it, and, like, no trace of it left in my brain, and I'm like, why did I not register any of this? Like, what's brain, please do your job. It's a bit stressful. It's semi okay when it's like Twitter stuff, but I still feel bad. Like, I try to pay attention when when Mr. E tells me stuff. She's my second kitty soulmate. Aww. Bunny didn't eat last week for 24 hours after it. Yeah. When we go to the vet with the cats, if we go with one cat, when we come back, they will be even more antagonistic toward each other. If we go with the two cats, they might be antagonistic regardless. They just hate it. Like, Pickle will try to hide somewhere in a crevice or something, and Scout will try to climb as high as possible, so she often ends up, like, on Mr. E's shoulders, and she sheds, like, an absurd amount of hair in such a short amount of time. Oh, I have serious business. Oh, okay. I'm glad you guys get it. Like, I don't know why my brain is like that. It could be the medication I'm on, whatever, but it's really annoying to be in this situation where it's like, I don't remember it. Why? And then I remember something absolutely unimportant from like 20 years ago, like the lyrics of a song that I don't even like, but I'll remember them anyway. Okay, so let's do a little bit more on this page, because I can. Did not eat. Yeah, I got that. What color is Millie? Bunny will start Millie and then give her a wide berth. But as soon as Millie starts feeling just a bit better, Bunny's back to stalking. Mine will just hiss. Like the one that stayed home will hiss at the other. And be like even more in a state of like stay away from me than usual. They're not very cuddly, even on a good day. They only get cuddly on cold days when they really, really want the same bed or same spot for sleeping. Sorry. Millie is an exotic looking medium haired dirty. Oh, she's a tortie! Aww. But she seems so sweet. She doesn't seem to be temperamental that much. What's up with that? I have entirely zero cats with me. Give me a sec. Je te l'apporte vite. C'est super la loupe. Tatou était couché sur le sac que j'avais mis là. Ah! Est-ce que ton micro est encore. Il est à. Je peux pas dormir. Je sors des toilettes, puis ça pue là. J'étais comme ça. Je vois qu'il y a un qui était couché. C'est tout juste. Tout juste. Mais c'est qui t'es beau? Dessus, faut se mettre la manette. Sur ça, faut pas se. Merci beaucoup. Oui. Tiens, attends, qui pue. shit, I'm still on mute, sorry. Dang it. Here I am rambling away. Basically, I was sort of annoyed because my orange eraser here, that's like the Fuji erasers, must have been like stuck to this for a bit, and it took off some of the ink on this. And that reminded me how erasers can sometimes do that, and how much I hate it. I really, really hate when they do that. I'm like, why? Ew. Why do you F up plastic? So I was able to remove some of the ink by rubbing it on a spare piece of paper. Sorry. But, ugh. I hate it. I hate it. So I was rambling about erasers and why they get like that. Like all sticky and gross. Maybe I need one in there that still has a plastic. Oh, a bit like this one, actually. There you go. Yeah, you only miss me rambling about gooky erasers. But I don't understand why they get like that. Sorry for the sounds of me erasing. Maybe I should mute it for that. Give me a sec. All right. Did not forget about mute this time. Ew, 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 ew. My music options today are really bad. Sorry. Okay. Goody? Gooky. Yucky. Nasty erasers. You know what you get really old erasers, they either become all sticky and gross or they become really dry and brittle. I'm gonna try and make a cat orange by mixing some of the yellow ochre with some of the vermilion mid-tint. Whoops, that's a lot of vermilion. It's a bit too strong. Gooky. Gook. Himal thumbs typing on iPad had an edible one to crumbly mess. Ew. Some supply suffers. Oh no! Wow, I'd never heard of that though. That's really interesting. That it went crumbly. They're usually so like sticky. Like when you have a bunch of old erasers all in the same drawer and they they all get like merged together into a dried out once was sticky mess. Let's see what kind of neutral we can mix from this ultramarine and the sienna in this set. The ultramarine is surprisingly deep. I was not expecting that. It's got to be one of my favorite ultramarines to date, and it's a paint that's probably like, I don't know. I don't even know how old this set is. 50 years at least? More than that? 75? Hard to say. Burnt sienna is also remarkably strong. I think my phone is loud. But did he? What's up? Why are you so loud? Oops. Did you guys see on the Discord, we posted a bit about the upcoming special palettes from Schminke. And yeah, they have two, is it all Academy set? I think so. Unfortunately. But one of them is going to be really cool. It's going to be just one row of pans. So instead of, you know, being the large 24 pans, half pans palette, it's going to be half that. It's going to be the same length, but it's just going to be one row. And the lid has like many more mixing wells. And the other two coming ones, they're the same idea they did before with the same size palette, the 24 size, but with the printed cover. And yeah, it looks really good. The designs, one is like a more muted rainbow, and one is really autumnal colors of muted red, yellow, and green. It's really beautiful. I have a small tin to store my erasers now. Hope it helps. Yeah, I hope it helps too. I usually try to keep them in the package, like the wrapper, for as long as possible. But I thought with the Fiji one, I was like, oh, it's the cardboard is cute, it's gonna get all messed up. so I kept it somewhere. Oh, here it is. I could probably put it back on, so it's less sticky. There you go. Oh, I just said that one Rouen this morning on St. Louis Art Supplies, 55 US. Oh, not bad. It's me though. I think any price for a tin is just gonna be not bad. Yeah, I wish they sold the palettes empty. Like at some point, no one will use up all those colors from the Academy range ever. So it's just I end up having a bunch of them and not knowing what to do with them. Also, I don't really use a lot of tin. They're not my favorite way to use up paints because I hate when it does the hole in the middle of the paint. Jen! Hello! I'm sorry I started earlier and I forgot to tell you. I didn't want to tell you because I knew I didn't want you to rush or anything. But yeah, I really like this slim palette one. I wish they made inserts that are more like palette wells, if you know what I mean. I have an example nearby. Not exactly. But you know, like an insert that is the slanted wells. These are not slanted, but like you put your paint in there rather than having it in this stupid half pan. Unforgivable. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Me too, I've got one in one of those little pocket pill boxes. Yeah, one of those insert, but for the... Oh, maybe I should like seek it out on Etsy. People are making so much awesome 3D printed stuff now. Yeah, full pans are a bit better for that, but I really, really hate the hole in the pan. It messes up your brushes. It's annoying. It's annoying, okay? I really like the printed lid ones too, but those are a bit easier to resist since I already have a couple of those and I don't use them. Oh, thank you, Jen. But the super slim one is really nice. They had one release too that was like thin in height. But it's part of those sets that I destashed because I have entirely way too much paints. So sometimes when I'm brave enough, I try to sell some of them. I do have time for dabbling about in those teensy tiny pens. But that's a bit different. Also, like you saw with the vintage box I showed earlier, some have really tiny wells, like quarter pans. And I find them really handy for like traveling and doing a bit of painting while traveling, like journaling and stuff. But you cannot exactly paint like a full sky with that. It would be so annoying. Like how much work it would be to get enough paint out and then make a puddle that's big enough and blah. Doesn't really have the mixing space for it. It's just really annoying overall. I've seen artists who really, their style really work for the teeny tiny wells, like Stephanie Primonlaw. Like she works super detailed with really fine brushes and all that. So the small inserts that have teeny tiny pans are really good for that. But for the rest of us, it's just like when your brush won't even fit in the thing, it's kind of problematic. Cape Colors, it's a nice mix, right? The Crimson Lake with the ultramarine. Another issue with having having too many supplies is that you don't spend enough time with any of them to become super comfortable with using it. Sorry, cut and a wire. Okay, like I wish I could spend more time with this vintage palette to figure out like everything about it. Is this a rewettable color? Oh, maybe. There's a purple down here. Doesn't re-wet really well, it just comes out as a light purple. Not totally unusable, but you know. Sure, totally, but it's not me. Besides, I have bad hands. I have to minimize all. Yeah, I know what you mean. I tried when I did October the last time. My initial idea was to combine a couple of things and add details with a really fine brush at the end, and I had to throw that idea in the bin right away because my hand would cramp up so bad, like holding the mini brush and trying to add details. It got so painful. So yeah, I can't do that. Not for long amounts of time. I have to vary it, otherwise it gets super painful. So yeah, I can see the teeny tiny wells really useful for people who need a lot of color, who have a lot of patience. I saw some inserts for slanted wells, but they're not exactly what I want, so I'm always like, meh. Meh. Yeah, too much fun, never enough time, seriously. And it's not exactly a very sustainable habit to have too much paint because it's really hard to make it a, how can I say this? Like, let's say there's a really special set and I want to make a review on it. Well, that video is never gonna earn me back the price of the set. Unless I'm really lucky for some weird reason, but that doesn't happen. So it's a bit hard to justify keeping up with all the fancy sets out there. I wonder if you could get someone to make one for you. The insert, you mean? Possibly. But I mean, I can also just get any other palette too. Like, there are options. I might at some point, I think I might at some point just write to... there's a couple of makers that I have in mind who do 3D printed inserts. I might like message them at some point and ask them about it. I have a couple of pet peeves when it comes to paint palettes. Like I'll never be able to just spray water on the palette. I get the Ghibli shiver thing when I see someone do that. Especially a metal palette. I'm like, no, it's gonna rust! Stop! Don't do that! Ah! Yeah, I like too many medium to get everything. I know what you mean. Jackass where it's gonna go is under my pillow. That's a good answer. I might use that at some point. But yeah, I get some comments in that same like vein occasionally. When I have extra, sometimes I try to sell it on Poshmark or eBay. So that's helpful for that, but yeah. There's also been a couple of times where I sold something and then I was like, oh no, I should have kept it. I could really use it now, and it's gone. And I'm just like, ugh. I know that Lindsay the Frugal Crafter has this I start in the store kind of mindset, which is great, but sometimes it's difficult to parse. Like, okay, when can I justify buying it? Like, when do I leave it in the store and when do I buy one? Ooh, remorse. Yeah, in one word, that's about it. Yeah. There are other things that I've sold that I don't have remorse because I'm just like, okay, fine. But there's been a couple of things where I kind of always go like, damn it. And it's linked to the way my brain kind of works, in the sense that it's a very problem-solving type of brain. And sometimes I think of a solution and I realize that I don't have the items that would work for it anymore, and that's when I get like really annoyed at myself for decluttering or something. I'm like, you had the thing that would be perfect now. And yeah, the store prices now are so high for all the pastels I bought. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, I had a couple of listings that I pulled back because if things continue on this very intense inflation curve, it might be a while before I can get new things. And even though I have paints for like a couple of lifetimes, it doesn't help like decluttering to see that you might never be able to repurchase something. Hey, Carolyn, hi. Welcome to this very, very chill stream. The chillest of streams. It's okay, they won't go bad. They'll be there when I'm one of these. Guilt. Discussing decluttering, very sore subject. Oh, I know. Like, Otto is really, really good at decluttering, and I don't know how she manages it. For me, it's just anxiety land. It's a lot of conflicting thoughts too, like when there was the Marie Kondo sort of trend going on, like being minimalist or frugal was really like the goal, let's just say. And it's really difficult. Like my brain goes from one extreme to the other. Like it goes from, well, you basically only need like one brand of paints, one set of brushes that you use. You could get rid of everything else. And then sometimes it goes all the way on the other side to like, I just want to be buried under paints, please. Make a big pile like my horde, my dragon horde. And I just don't know how to parse it. It's like two separate things, and I can't figure out an in-between. It's not exactly ideal, but you know. And then it starts this, you know, this path of like, well, if I can't figure out a middle ground, is it my brain? Is it broken? Is it my fault? And you guys know the kind of like spiraling, spinning thing it can become. I have tried to limit my media and my brands to 3 each, but painting has taken over my house and my life. Aww. It's so difficult, right? Well, I can start getting a good deal on things I know I'll use eventually is frugal. So Jack and I agree it's not hoarding. I have no judgment. Well, thank you guys. But you guys, like, you know this sort of mind spin that can happen. Like when you sort of get overwhelmed by two conflicting notion and unable to figure out where to sit in all this, you know? It's a bit like trying to find the right answer, but there is not exactly one. Quite like these little brushes. These are resable brushes from Holbein. These are the mini resable because the handle is quite short. Considering I have short hands, small hands, that's perfectly fine. But I like these two, at least the size 2 and the size 6. They've been working well so far. And being a professional, you can cut yourself some slack, your quality testing. But I mean, am I a professional in the sense that it's not exactly a profession. I wish it would be more of one, but I don't know. Too much thinking, not enough painting. Okay, what I've done for a trigger like this is write down my kind rationalization, rational word kept easily accessible. Okay, so like when you feel like you're spinning, you read back your rules per se. Great colors on the kitties. I didn't read kitties right for the first the first glance, so I was a bit confused for a second. I was like, whoa, oh, okay, kitties. Sorry. Really beautiful muted greens with this set. They don't have much of a choice but to be muted because the only sort of workable yellow in here is a muted yellow. Hey, that's not bad in terms of the color intensity. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I know that was not your intention. My brain just went in a weird place. I think a good way to sum it up would be less thinking, more painting. Maybe I should get a tattoo of that somewhere. Have it tattooed like on my hand so I can always refer to it. Like, oh yeah, true, okay, cool. I'll have it tattooed behind my eyelids. That's a nicer, sort of stronger Prussian blue than earlier. I'm saving the ruthless for the rest of my house. Yes, less thinking, more painting. Yeah. This stuff looks like natural material for a kid's book. You could develop a whole new sub-12-year-old following. Possibly. Like I've thought about it before, of course. Like Kids Lit is quite a great place for illustrators, but it's getting there that's a bit trickier. But I mean, I could work harder at this too. The only part that terrifies me is having to do public readings in like libraries and schools. Though I should, another thing I should keep noted in front of me is if Matt Walsh was able to make a kid's book, I sure can too. If that piece of human garbage was able to make a kid's book, I can probably make a much better one. He sets the bar super low. Oh no, not public reading, seriously, never mind. Hey Dan! Hello! have a couple of spaces here for other odd swatches. Oh, that's a pretty green. I hope you guys can see it. Yeah, vintage palette. You are overqualified versus that one. I think everyone is overqualified versus that one. Oh, he's such a garbage person. Blech. Those are such pretty greens. I love a good muted green. Muted greens are always the colors that, well, always. Like, whenever you get a palette, more often than not, you won't get any kind of good, nice, usable green. You necessarily have to mix something in there. Because you either get, like, phthalo green, which is one of the most absurd green out there. Super useful in mixes, super useless on its own. And then they give you like I know Schminke often has May green in there. And again, it's a great mixer, but on its own, it's such a silly color. It's almost neon green. You're like, well, it's a pretty color, but when am I gonna ever use it? And I find it much easier to mix my greens if I start from a muted yellow with blues than taking that weird neon green and trying to tone it down. So if I'm gonna have to mix to get a good green anyway, why not give me more yellow and blue options so that I can mix more greens? Is it time for a rant? I guess it's time for a rant. This one is also very pretty. Prussian blue is such a nice blue. I like phthalo green for mixing. I don't like when a brand includes sap green as an option. I just find it really useless. I find it easier to start from sap green to get a usable color. But I just hate when it's like, oh, you get phthalo green, blue shade, and sap green. I'm just like, ugh. Phthalo green is obnoxious. I was fighting with greens in the landscape yesterday. I wanted to throw the painting out the window. I agree! Me too, and that is not something I would have imagined years ago. My color tastes have definitely evolved. Maybe that May green was more popular when there were less choices. Maybe so. But say, okay, if we take the Schminke 24 color set, I'll try to go from memory, but it's not the worst one because I think it comes with indigo. And that's really nice to have a color of this depth in there. But if we take any regular set, like the most basic kind of run-in with paints, it's you get like ultramarine blue, because of course, and often Prussian blue. Prussian blue, if it's a good Prussian blue, it's quite usable. But I wish instead of having like sap green or phthalo green, they would put indanthrone blue in there or a more cyan blue in there, because you can't really mix a cyan. And then if they have one more blue and then with the yellows, that really depends on the lineup, because sometimes you have 2 yellows plus yellow ochre, so that's good. But let's say a magenta and a cyan blue instead of the 2 greens, I think would be much more usable than phthalo green and May green. May green is like a really punchy yellow-green color. It's a bit like the color of when the sun hits greenery outside. It's a nice color, but on its own, it's overwhelmingly like bright. I love all the greens. They're all great for specific things, but in like in a versatile palette, it's another debate. I haven't found a color I don't like in terms of the color itself and its hue. There are paint behaviors I don't like, and there are trends I don't like, but in terms of like, hey, here's a pan or a tube of this specific color, I'm like, oh, pretty. I agree, an Throne is a must have when mixing greens. Same with the phthalo blue. Yeah, phthalo blue. Would rather have a phthalo blue. Well, sometimes you have phthalo blue and ultramarine, which is like, yeah, okay. But Indian Throne, that opens up so many possibilities. The deeper a color, the more possibilities you have for it, because it's easier to dilute than it is to bring to a darker level. And oftentimes when people want to make it darker, they had black in it, and that just flattens it out, which is a shame. Ultramarine makes a bit of a flat green. Depends. You'd think with the granulation it will be less flat. Let's mix some greens with this ultramarine. Depends on what you mix it with. In this case, I'm gonna end up having a very grayed out color because I'm muting it with yellow ochre. And it's almost like neutralizing the blue. Almost. Viridian is the green I find a real struggle. Hey, Holly! Hello! Chromium oxide green is one pigment. It is such a nice green! Yay! A fellow liker of chromium oxide green. Hi, Arca! Oh, I love it so much. It's one of my favorite one pigment color because it looks so natural and you have nothing to do to it. You just bloop bloop and it looks awesome. It's so pretty! I love it a lot. It's one of my favorite greens too. I still love May green, but I'm aiming for lush, exotic, tropical. Like, it's a beautiful color if you paint something that is a bit more abstract. Like people who paint florals, all these bright colors are lovely to use in florals because they really make the color shine and look good on paper, and it's very visually interesting. But when you try to paint something where the color is not necessarily the focus of the painting, it's a bit more difficult to use. And Viridian is tricky because it's really hard to re-wet usually. Usually lemon yellow, azo yellow, and then blue, phthalo blue, and a red. That explains the trouble I have with my Van Gogh paints. I have phthalo green, some turquoise, ultramarine, and cobalt blue shade. What's the problem you're running into with those colors? When I got other paints, suddenly I like them better. Should have been more specific. Ultramarine makes a flat green in terms of color. I just don't find it very bright for highlights. And it's dark, not dark enough for shadows. Oh, I see. I love that chrome green. Yay! Third people! Chromium oxide green gang! Jeepers creepers. Hold on. That was my dad again. I like chrome green, but no idea how to use it. Just put it everywhere. I find it that it's the exact color when you want to have grass that is not like the pristine grass of golf carts. Golf carts? Is that how you call them? Like, you know, regular grass where a couple of them are yellow and it's not super vibrant because it's not raining all that much. So the grass is a bit more muted, and the yellow grass in there kind of adds to that muted color. It's yummy! Green choices are just another example of personal likes versus painting subjects. It's all good, just gotta find your thing. Exactly. The only green I can use straight is Perlin green. It's so pretty. Chromium oxide is a beautiful green. It is! It is! Yay! More people like chromium oxide green. Oh my gosh, so many of these. I got too curious. I have to check the book pictures my dad sent me. These look really cool. I'll have to do some more research on these. Anything exciting planned for your birthday this week? Oh, well, good food. Good food is always exciting. I'm not big on making like a big fuss out of it, but it's just poutine. I can't eat poutine anymore because of the cheese in it. I know they make some sort of vegan poutine cheese, but it's not squeaky enough. It doesn't work. Oops. Let's see if I can put this somewhere. Not enough space in here. It's entirely my fault. Stuff falling everywhere. Okay, sorry. You're only young once. Yeah, and that time has passed. Squeaky cheese act. No, it's hard to explain unless you've had it, but it's cheese curds. And it's fresh cheese. It's usually fresh cheddar cheese. And when it's fresh and has not been refrigerated yet, there's no other way to describe it, but when you bite into it, it kind of makes that squeakiness, but it's delicious. I know it's maybe not an association that will come naturally, but it's really good. It's like the fact that the cheese is not has not been cold yet, so it's still kind of soft and chewy, but yet consistent, you know. So poutine is French fries, cheese curds, fresh cheese curds, and gravy on top. Technically, like the most basic recipe. That's what it is. Well, Ev, you're still young. Pfft. Yeah, right. I can't have it anyway, so. Sorry. I do enjoy experimenting, though, I admit. I like Windsor blue-green shade from Mixing Green. Just another phthalo, but so pretty. Also, Windsor Newton Antwerp blue. Is the Antwerp blue kind of a variant of Prussian blue? Oh no, Mikey! Oh, it's in the same vein as the ricotta in a lasagna. 40 is the new 30. Thank you guys. I don't know about that. My buddy doesn't say that 40 is the new 30, if you know what I mean. My buddy is like, why? Most of the time. Okay, so I wanted to... 15 minutes left. Can we do it in 15 minutes, guys? Celebrate all month, because why not? My mom's lasagna used to be quite good. I can't have any lasagna really anymore unless I go the extra distance of making it dairy free. But she would that's a mini rusable in there. That's interesting. But yeah, she would mix in bechamel sauce, white sauce, with the ricotta and make a a layer that was that. Makes it a bit more creamy, and I mean it's white sauce. It's mostly fat and salt and creaminess, so really hard to go wrong with that. Oh my god, I'm drooling. Hey, Paulo! Welcome back. I'm drooling. I miss a good lasagna, honestly. We made one that was vegan with various fake cheeses, and it was okay. But yeah. Otto! Hello! I don't like the mince texture, so usually I make lasagna with corn peas. Ew! Not ew, the corn peas, but mince in lasagna? I've never had meat in my lasagna. Oh, these are so old that even whole beans separated. Can you imagine? Yeah, the recipe my mom used to do would be mostly cheese lasagna with tomato sauce and lasagna sheets. And seriously, wow, I've never had whole bean be so separated before. That's unique. Wow. But yeah, it used to be tomato sauce, parmesan, mozzarella, and the bechamel ricotta mix. And you layer all that stuff up. And yeah, at some point we got a pasta making machine. Oops. So we would make the lasagna sheets ourselves. It was a whole like endeavor. Oh, no, no, no. Lasagna is lasagna. It's layered stuff with stuff. There's cannelloni is the circular ones. And I've never heard what Vichy is. But, dude, lasagna with or without mince is lasagna. Oh, the liquid... Oh, just the curds. Interesting. Separation anxiety. Yeah, it's a new old set. It's like a vintage set, but that had never been used before. And I've had it for quite some time. But I was like, since I've been really into Holbein paints lately, I should take this one out and try to use it more. I don't really know how to use it though, because it's a tube set. And I'm like, where do I put the paints when I paint with them? Do I put them like here or where? I've never really used the paint set. Tube set, sorry. Oh, that sounds amazing, Temple. Yeah, I had to start 1 hour earlier today. No, it was today as well. It was a bit of a last minute thing. And I think I forgot to like let anybody know about it. Also, I never know, like, there's never any pressure to be there, so I don't want people to feel the pressure to be here if I pop in and say, hey, the stream is earlier today, and if like they hadn't planned on being here and they're like, oh, okay. That's a Chinese white. I might remove it. What am I supposed to use this for? What brush is it that comes with the set? It's a Mini Resable by Holbein. It's oddly enough the same kind of brush as this. Except that this one is vintage and older. This one is... well, this one is newer, this one is older. I'm so sorry, Otto. I never really know if you want me to let you know when the stream is early or if you saw but didn't pop in perhaps for other reasons. Like I find it very I never really know how to parse like the stream stuff. Because it's meant to be so casual and no pressure on anyone that I don't feel like it's fair to be like, hey, stream to people. Palette at the top is a Reeves palette. A vintage one, obviously, sorta. And I painted... let me grab it. I painted this with it earlier. Like the swatches and the cats. And like the ultramarine blue in the vintage palette is pretty amazing. It's really good. Of course I want to. I'm so sorry. I'll try my best to do better next time. That's something I really have to improve. Isn't Holbein Vermilion Hue just the prettiest red ever? It's so nice. It's so bright. I think this is the first time in my life that I see Holbein binder. Like I've never had any, even the very old Holbein tubes that I have, like the super duper old ones, they've never separated. But these sat in that palette for a bit too long, so that's why there is some binder here. But oh my gosh, the colors. You don't try it. That's true. They don't make ultramarine blues like that anymore. Yes, I really like the Vermilion Hue by Holbein. It's the only... Isn't it so pretty? What's the pigment? Oh, it's a mix of pigments. So it's PR48. Well, this one. I don't know. Maybe the recipe has changed. PR48, PR112, and PY81. It's so pretty. It looks like vermilion. I'm really in a Holbein kick lately. They've been my favorite brand for a couple of weeks, months. That's so bright. Why is that green so bright? Oh, and the next color. Oh, wait, I forgot one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I forgot one. I totally skipped over the Viridian Hue. Maybe that was on purpose because it's PG7. And we had a whole rant about PG7 earlier. It really cracks me up. Okay, you pesky green, come on. Wow, how bright and unnatural looking. Great. I hope you guys can see. I know how much you love PG7. Like, it's a beautiful green. It's the green that whenever I see in paintings that it's a bit diluted and looks kind of tealy aqua, I'm always like, what is this aqua color? It's so pretty. And then it's always PG7. But having it in my palette on its own, I'm always nonplussed. Maybe I need to try mixing it with yellow ochre a bit more. Maybe that's a way that I could like easily... It's still gonna look not right. This is just printer paper, by the way. It's absolutely not watercolor paper, which is why it looks like ass on this. $50, $60, $60, $10. I love the native language switch when counting, very relatable. It's really hard to count in not native language. I don't know why. By the way, hi Yuri. Oh, I do have it. My sister-in-law brought a set back from Japan. Ooh! She got the full selection bits. Oh, that's a lovely selection. I love the Ghibli palette. I think Van Gogh's backgrounds all look like PG7, but that's not possible. Yeah, it didn't exist. It's probably a mix of Aurelian and like Prussian blue or something. Holbein, well, this is not the best example because of the separation in the tube and the sheer amount of binder in this swatch, but their ultramarine color are really, really nice too. I wonder if that Reeves palette was always cream color. I think it was white and yellowed because most of my vintage palettes are all yellowed. And we know that lead white existed, then titanium white probably. The Viridian and the Prussian blue, the binder has dried to be a bit thicker. So they're a bit harder to remix. So I guess the lesson here is I really need to use this palette more. Also one of the best PBR7 burnt sienna. And one of the prettiest yellow ochres and lovely browns from Holbein always. What is that one? It's gotta be burnt umber. Burnt sienna? Which one is it? Burnt umber. PBR7? PBR7! Oh yeah! Burnt sienna, PBR7! Oh yeah! Dude, you gotta use the right pigments to get the right color. Sadly, I haven't tried it yet, but I have that lovely vermilion to look forward to. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful palette. Is it really worth it to swatch the Chinese white? I don't think so. Find a place for that to dry. Get in there. No, make a mess. Okay, so I need to keep... That's the other thing that bothers me with tube sets, is that if one tube is not properly set up in there, you can't close it. But I really need to keep this one out. Oh, did you see the box it came in? Oh, check out this box. How cool is it? Like it's legit new old stock. I don't know what it says on it. Holbein Hardest Watercolors 5 ml metal box. How cool is it? Has an address in Japan, printed in Japan. I should actually keep it in there so I don't scratch it too much. Yeah, it's really retro. And yeah, earlier I had on... Oops. Other vintage palettes. Oh, Dan. Vibing with the retro too. Oh, it's so difficult with rodents. I don't like the word rodents, but I don't think there's another one. Oh, really, Mikey? What? But how old was Pat? So yeah, that's probably the most worn vintage set I have. Has a bit more rust, has a bit more holes in the enamel. Ceramic pans of all sorts. It's a bit hard to see, but the way it holds the pan is quite interesting too. If I can get one out without breaking anything. Like it has these holders for each pan. And this one is a Reeves one. The Reeves palettes are really easy to find. Like there's no really shortage of these. So that's the most like roughed up one. This Reeves one here, another Reeves one. This one is a bit better. Like enamel is missing in certain places, but it has much less rust. And this one is the most special one, and also the most recent one I was able to find. But it has like these beautiful quarter pan sections. It has room for 24 colors. Not that much. It looks like it's more rusty than it actually is. I just haven't finished cleaning it. But it's in really good shape. But as you can see, all the enamels have yellowed. And like if whoever had these palettes was a smoker, that means even more yellowing. Hey, Susan, hi. Y'all have to get in some concentrated oil. I heard, I don't know, something recently sort of in that vein of idea. Because most pets don't really have the same kind of lifespan that humans have. And someone was saying something like you, as a human, we only have pets for a short part of our lives, but for them, we are their whole lives. So I felt like it really gave more impact to caring for them and giving them a good life. And this feeling of doing right by them. Yeah, this is a bit of a bummer. Into the stream. It is a nice way of looking at it. It is difficult to implement, but it is indeed sort of a more positive way of looking at all of this. Like, some people have bugs for pets. And, well, a bug doesn't have the same kind of brain that other pets might have, but still, if you provide for it and it never goes hungry, well, you did right by them. Hey, Dominic, hi. I agree, Dan. That's kind of the whole point, right? Which is why it's a bit infuriating when you see people do silly stuff. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to mention this. I'll need a paper demonstration to help explain it. So this morning, I heard a cat yelling outside, which is something that happens regularly because one of the friendly cats in the neighborhood is a bit of a drama queen. And he yells for anything and everything. He sees another cat and he's whatever. Yeah, Chaz. So I heard yelling and I was like, Chaz again. Okay. I went out, and in retrospect, we'll go back to that at the end, but I went out just to see if he was on the, really on the lawn here or nearby, and what was the issue, if he was just being a drama queen again. So I look, I don't see any cat. And let's say this is a sidewalk. This is the lawn. I don't know, let me know if you can see properly. Okay, so this is the street. The other sidewalk. Oops. You can right. The street has it's a 2-lane street, sort of. It's technically a 1-lane. It's technically a 2-lane street, but in practice it's like a 1-lane because you have cars parked. And yeah, the cars can sort of go by, but it's kind of crammed. So that's me here. Whee! And I look around and I don't see anything. And I kind of called to him once or twice. Yeah, it is Chaz. And then I see him, the little turd. He starts running across the street. And I'm like, I swear internally, because that's what I hate of I love seeing Chaz here, but I hate that he's an outdoor cat and always in danger. And there's a car coming here. Just as Chaz is like running across the street like an idiot. And then Chaz hears the car, so he starts running along the middle line as the car progresses, and the car slows down, thankfully. And then Chaz crosses up to the lawn, and then the car goes by. But I was like, you little stupid third. Lesson learned, though. Next time I hear yelling, I'm not getting out. I'm gonna stay in here, and I'm not gonna attract his attention, because that cat is so freaking stupid. And I was losing my mind. I was like super grateful that he was okay, but I'm like, why are you so stupid? Why is your brain so small? I'm never gonna recount something that ends badly here. So it ends okay, but I had a mini heart attack for a second. Sorry. Yeah, mine are indoor. I'll never be able to have an outdoor kitty. All my time would be spent stressing out over it. Like, what if they don't come back tonight? What if? No. Indoor. which also means that they're not a threat to the local wildlife. But I swear that little turd. Mine is an indoor and on-a-line cat. That's fine. Roads are not cat friendly. They're not pet friendly. They're not animal friendly. And cats are stupid. Their brain is itty bitty. Okay, so yeah. I needed to kind of air out that story and my frustration at the miniature brain of this really cute cat. Oh yeah, cats will butcher wildlife. They're so. I thought the same stupid cat Chaz was like, haha, he's silly. We saw him run away from a robin once, which was kind of funny. You know, the bird is much smaller than him, and he was running away from the bird, and we're like, haha, it's not very good. And then we saw him snag a bird like from a feeder in one fell swoop, and I was like, oh shoot. Does your cat have a bell, Susan? That can help. But yeah, Chaz doesn't have a bell, and I'm tempted to try to get one on his collar once. Thing is he's not easy to handle. He's still a young cat, and he's a bit like sometimes the you know the thread touch. I don't know what's the expression. We have an expression in French that les fils se touchent, basically meaning that it short circuits at. Sometimes you pet him and he bites you, and you're like, okay, fine, whatever, Chaz. But yeah, this freaking little cat. Super cute, but a turd. There you go. Yeah, on a line I have one of those poles you screw into the ground with a line parallel to the house, and that hooks. Oh, it's like a bit like a clothesline, but much lower. Yeah, I think I see. That's interesting. Alright, so we're a bit over, that's fine, but I'm gonna end the stream soon. Cats are not good for walking. It really takes peculiar, very special cats because they don't react the same way to stimuli that dogs will do. And the outside world is really overwhelming when you're the size of a cat. Like, there's loud cars, loud people, trucks, dogs, and their initial response is to flee. So it's really more difficult to have a cat walk outside because they don't tend to want to walk. They usually just want to sit somewhere and catnap and save up their strength for when they need to hunt. And then they also get scared at every single loud noise, so they want to run. I trained Maria to walk on a leash. Oh, she was fine as long as the leash was behind her. She will stop and refuse to move if she sees the leash in her face. You don't walk a cat, he walks you. Yep. I see some people walk their pets, well, the cats in like little woodland areas, like something much calmer and much quieter. But walking the cat, yeah, it basically means that you stand somewhere and the cat sniffs everything around, you know. They don't really walk like dogs do. We live rural, walk on my neighbor's road where there is no other traffic than neighbors. That's good. That's safer. Much safer than stupid Chaz here. So listen, sit down. Okay. So things. Oh no! No! So a bit of context. Ding is a female cat named Schrödinger, and her human parents are a couple of butts. Have a holiday home 7 or 8 hours drive from their house. Ding. Oh no. Ah, they don't deserve that cat. What a couple of idiots. See, that's exactly the opposite of what we were. So of course they dragged this poor cat 3 times a day. Oh, that's the opposite of what we were saying earlier. About, you know, taking good care of a pet during the duration of the pet's life. Especially loves being on holiday. Yeah, because cats have that concept of holiday in their cat brains that are the size of a walnut. Yeah, sure. Of course. Cats do not have concept. No, exactly. I know I was being sarcastic here. I hope that registered. They don't. I hate these people so much. Only the fear of the car journey followed by a massive change in your environment. Yeah, they don't like change in routine and they don't like car rides generally. They are possibly some of the absolute worst pet parents I've seen. Like, some people are just foul with animals, but it's like being openly foul. And you're just like, ugh, but they think they're doing right by the cat by doing that. Like, how out of touch can you be? They are the most selfish pet owners. Oh, definitely, dude. Yeah, even if the natural world was safe, I would be uber anxious over humans. I'm happy to give Millie and Bunny the push. Miss Muffet on the tuffet. Cats are perfectly fine indoor. Don't listen to PETA. PETA have a really stupid stance on pets. They are the most selfish person overall that I've ever heard about. It's a bit baffling. Like, I'm not used to that. And the pet stuff is just so infuriating. Like, it's already bad, and then you see just how they treat Ding, and you just want to break stuff and go steal Ding from them. Pull in Ace Ventura with the dog. Delivery for hassle. Alright, looks like it's broken. Steal the cat, put it in my vest, and run away. They honestly come out with new and wonderful ways to prove to the world that they are awful people. And have absolutely no awareness of it. It's the most unbelievable thing, just how unaware they are of their own grossness. You need to go save Ding. Stealth ninja sleuth in the dark. Like, walk in the shadows, get over there. Grab the black cat. Bring the black cat in the shadows and walk away with her. Oh, they won't know. And I mean, F them, right? At some point. Because yeah, she's got to be a narc a narcissist, right? I'm so fed up with narcissists. I think they will work it out when they see Ding in my house. Just don't let them come over. No, you can't come over. I'm cooking the thing you're super allergic to. Haha. Let's find other reasons to like not let them come over. I know that it's a plan that couldn't work. I'm just exaggerating and having fun with the impossible idea of stealing Ding. If Ding wasn't a black cat, you know how they have pet safe dyes, and you can see dogs with like aqua or pink patterns or whatnot, but you sort of dye Ding so she looks like another cat, but they don't know you. I could go steal Ding. I'll just impersonate the pet abuse officers. You go in there like electricians with a cat carrier disguised as a tool bin, and you pretend to fix something. Put the cat like in the box with all the treats in there so the cat stays quiet, and just walk away with it super fast. Oh my gosh. That poor cat. Incognito. Yeah, she had great cat parents for a bit. The couple that looked after her while her stupid parents abandoned her for a year and a half. Ding really loved that couple. Oh, this is so infuriating. Poor kitty. And I mean, pets are so resilient. Ding will tolerate this terrible treatment because she doesn't have much of an option. And it's so maddening to see her humans be that oblivious to it. Like it's ugh. The moment when they abandoned her for a year and a half, that was already bad enough. She refused to go near her parents for 3 days. No wonder. I love when you told me, Otto, that like Ding hates like women. Like she doesn't want to have anything to do with women, and while she was babysat there, she took to the woman in the couple, and it makes you wonder just why Ding was so traumatized initially. Gee, what a mystery. Oh, that poor cat. It's just awful attitudes like, can you take on Ding after we immigrate? But can we have her back if it didn't work out and we come back? Like, that's not how the world works. Yeah, well, in their mind, that's how it works because that's how it has always worked for them. Ugh. Okay, I'll try to draw where these two belong. So one options we have is this one. So we could yeet them in the sun. Like wee in the sun. That's an option. Oops. That was the most weird. So option 1. Option 2. I'll try. This part is always weird. Like, who designed the bottom part of toilets? It has like a weird thingamajig here, whatever. So in there, and let's have it be a stinky toilet with flies, like the one in Trainspotting, like all grimy and gross. They are also, not surprisingly, claiming everything back that they get. What? They're doing. Oh my gosh, what? I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, Tempo, I'm glad you were able to save Bunny. Bunny's a cat? It's funny. I've heard there are some lovely places in Ukraine. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, if you like that, you like this. So there's this beautiful brass tray. Absolutely huge thing, size of a table. Whoa. They gave it to Cassie's... Oh no. Me too. Option 2, into the sewers, where they will be a nice snack for... Yeah, but problem with option 2, like the only flaw is that they might come back. If we eat them in the sun, they're not coming back. Like gunzo forever. Beautiful bass tray, absolutely huge thing, size of a table. They give it to Cassie's parents. You may remember that Cassie became incontinent before she... Yeah, that happens. And they use the tray to catch extra pee. Pee obviously corrodes metal. Oh, this is great. I love where this is going. The tray was ruined. Ruined. Yes, she's gray and white and super bun. Oh, that's adorable. They still took the tray. Okay, in the toilet they go then. I can't... Oh my, I can't believe it. Like, taking back the stuff they gave. If you wanted to hold on to it, you put it in storage or something. Dumb people. Because they can't possibly let go of things they gifted to people. Complain like hell that the tree was run. Yeah, shut up. No, not you, but them. Oh my gosh. Like it, or I mean, you ask people that. You say, hey, we're trying this. Can you take on some of our stuff, and like you can use it while we're away, but if we come back we'll take it back, possibly. I have so many of their crazy antics. You'll have to tell me more, definitely. I have to go now though. Run a bit late, but that's fine. A quick one. Yeah, because these are so good, but yeah. you can have another one quickly. I don't think it's gonna take like 30 minutes to have another one. I can still like sort stuff up that doesn't go in there. I can still beautiful art this stream, right? Thank you all for coming to my venting session. Come back next week for Dr. Otokano's story time. They had this expensive painting, family heirloom. Oh, that's a great start. Worth tens of thousands. Whoa, what? Whoa, sell that. By a somewhat famous painter. Dang. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Temple. I plan on making a edited video about the vintage palettes. So rewatching streams is not ideal, but there will be a more put together video about these. They hang it in their kitchen. The only place less suited for that is the bathroom. Now, Cassie's mom loves art, so she rescued that painting of them. Yeah, everything they have needs rescuing, honestly. Though I appreciate where Cassie's mind was when she just went and peed on the tray. Like, pfft, screw this. This is my new toilet now. Yeah, I will make the vintage palette video when I finish cleaning this one up. What? I have my most valued art in the shower, of course. Definitely. The painting was covered in a thick layer of grease and... Ugh! Ew! It's Baumgartner restoration level stuff happening. Oh, £600 to get it restored. That's a lot. And they want it back now? Of course they do. They are demanding the painting back. Well, they can go suck on eggs in hell. Yeah, understandable. Restoration is a lot of work without offering to pay for the restoration. Oh, they are such assholes. Unbelievable. The nerve of these people. No one has ever stood up to them. What? Like, honestly, how are they like this old and still this delusional? It's disgusting. And they earn so much more money than Cassie's mom. That's silly. But they are so stingy. At the same time, they seem to be really bad with where they put their money. Like the whole boat thing cannot have been a good investment. Yeah, they will. If they eventually pay for the restoration or get the painting back, you want to bet they will put it back in the kitchen? Oh, dang. Okay, so list of stuff to rescue from their place. A painting, a cat. Like, they're entertaining to watch from my distance, but they are god-awful people to have in. Definitely. They're the kind of people that you see in TV shows and you're thankful that they are not real, you know. Except that they're real. It's unbelievable. The nerve of these people. Yeah, they are very real, sadly. But you know when you see something you go like, that can't be real. No way. And then you find out that yes way. And you cry. Okay, story time over for now. we'll collect more gossip and report back. That's excellent. We should have the gossip segment during the streams. Maybe I need to find some art-related gossip, though we're not a very gossipy bunch. All right, thank you so much, Otto, for these stories. They're terrible, and like, oh my gosh, this situation for Ding, and the painting is an object, but I still kind of feel bad for it. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's kind of so bad it's funny. You'll need to bring gossips about people, you know. Oh, I'm pretty sure I can dig up a couple of things. Tune in next week for the Odd People Churn. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I hope you have a great weekend. We will see each other next weekend, and I'm trying really hard to get back on making videos a bit more regularly. I know it's easier said than done, but yeah, I have things that I need to make videos about, so I'm trying to work on that, and also all the other things. And yeah, the other things are not necessarily relevant to you guys, but the more video things might be. So hopefully that happens. And yeah, I hope you have great weekends, better weeks than last week, because a lot of people seem to have had rough weeks. And yeah, see y'all next weekend. Bye bye.